Namaste dear students, welcome to lecture 2 on basic mathematics for physics. So in this lecture we will discuss how to formulate a mathematical equation for a given physical situation. So formulation of linear equation in one and two variables. So in earlier classes you have studied these linear equations in one variable as well as two variable. You must have also studied in three variables. So whatever may be the number of variables, I am sure that you know how to solve these equations. So then, what is the point in taking this chapter once again? So here, in earlier classes, emphasis till 10th class, the emphasis was more on a given equation, you are finding out the solution. That means an equation was given to you and just you are finding the solution for that equation. So like 2x plus 3 equals to 11. So you have to solve this equation and you can solve this equation. X will comes out to be 11 minus 3, so that is 4. Fine. So this you have done in earlier classes and more emphasis was this type of equations were given to you and you have to solve it. Now what is new here? Here the equation is not given to you. Most of the cases in physics, equation is not given to you. What is given then? A physical situation is given to you. So when a particular physical situation is given to you, you should be able to formulate that into a mathematical equation. And in these chapters in lower classes, you have formulated some equations, but the emphasis given to that, the importance given to that formulation was less. So again, we are just revising those things. So if you are able to formulate a particular physical situation into a mathematical equation, then 80% of your problem is solved. Then simply you have to solve the problems and find the unknowns. So then, linear equation, you know the meaning of linear equation. If the power is 1, then the equation is linear. If the power is 2, then the linear will become, the equation is quadratic. And linear equation in one variable or two variable. So here this equation is linear and it is having one variable. Here what is the variable? X is the variable. Then similarly you can have a linear equation with two variables. So suppose if you have 2x plus 3y equals to 12. So again this equation is a linear equation. If you plot a graph between y and x, you will get a straight line. But here the number of variables are 2. X is a variable as well as y is a variable. So this is an equation. This is a linear equation. But this linear equation is in two variables. Okay? Yes. So similarly you can have 5x minus 6y is equal to 35. So again, this is a linear equation. Degree of x 1, degree of y is also 1. So equation is linear. If you plot a graph between x and y, you will get a straight line. And here how many variables we are having? We are having x and y. So these are the two variables. Then now let us take few examples and we'll try to formulate into a mathematical equation. So we have a boat, it covers certain distance downstream 2 hours and upstream 3 hours. Okay. So now there is a boat covering a distance upstream and downstream. So downstream it covers this distance downstream. It covers a distance in 2 hours. And the same boat, when it is moving upstream, it will cover a distance in 3 hours. And here the speed of this stream, speed of stream is 2 km per hour. So find the speed of boat in still water. Okay. So here there is a boat moving in a river. The river speed is 2 km per hour. Now this boat will travel from point A to B and B to A. So point A to B, if this is downstream, that is means downstream means the direction along the direction of river flow. So this is the direction of river flow. So this is downstream. And upstream it will take 3 hours to travel the same distance. And the speed of upstream is given 2 km per hour. You have to find out speed of the boat in still water. So just you have to formulate. So you can formulate the problem. You can pause and formulate it and find the answers. So let us solve now. So here let us assume the speed of the boat is x km per hour. Okay, and one more thing, this distance is constant. While going downstream, distance is AB. While going upstream, distance is AB. So, distance is given by speed into time. So, when this boat is going downstream, the speed of the boat will become x plus 2 because x km per hour is the speed of the boat in still water. So if water is also flowing, so water will help, or the water stream, water current will help the boat in moving in this direction. So distance traveled in downstream will be x plus 2, that is the speed of the boat, into time. So time it is taking 2 hours. Then similarly, distance traveled upstream. So now upstream, what will be the speed? The speed of the boat will be 3 minus x. Sorry, speed of the boat will be, x is the speed of the boat. So x minus 2. Upstream, the speed will be x minus 2. So x minus 2 multiplied by time. So time is 3 hours. Okay. So here, when it is going upstream, it has to move against the speed of the river. So river will try to reduce the speed of the boat. Fine. So that will be speed of the stream is 2, speed of the boat is x. So speed from B to A will become x minus 2. Now distance travelled in both the cases are equal, so we'll equate these equations. So x plus 2 multiplied by 2, x minus 2 multiplied by 3. So here the equation which you are going to get will be a linear equation in one variable. So this is 2x plus 4, 3x minus 6. So if you take x one side, so this will be x and this will be 10. So x is equal to 10 kilometer per hour. So the equation which we got an equation that is linear equation and one variable. So here the only unknown is x, that is speed of the boat. Okay, yes. Next. So next problem is distance between two stations is 340 kilometer parallel greater than that of 5 kilometer. Okay, so now there are two stations. So station A and we have another station B. The distance between these stations is 340 kilometers. The distance between two stations is 340 kilometers. And two trains start simultaneously from both these stations in opposite direction. So this train may move along this direction, this train may move along this direction. So they are moving on parallel tracks. Fine. Yes. The speed of them, speed of one of them is greater than that of other by 5 kilometers. So suppose the speed of train A is V1 and speed of train B is V2, then speed of one train is 5 kilometer per hour greater than the speed of the other train. Speed of one train is 5 kilometer per hour greater than the other train. Fine. So now one more information is given. After 2 hours, second information is after 2 hours from the start, the distance between the trains is the distance between the two trains after 2 hours of their start is 30 kilometers. So find the speed of trains. Okay, so hope you understood the problem. There are two stations, 40 kilometers apart. Fine. So now two trains starts in opposite direction on a parallel tracks and they move towards each other. The speed of one train is 5 km per hour greater than the other train, and after the start, once they have started, from there after 2 hours the distance between them is 30 kilometers. So find the speed of the train. So again now we will formulate the equations. Fine. So to formulate the equations, see here the distance traveled. So 2 hours from the start. So let us say this train came here and this train came here. The distance between them is 30 kilometers. So both the trains have travelled for 2 hours. So I can write the distance travelled by train 1. So distance travelled by train 1 is x1, that is velocity v1, or we'll assume V1 as, first of all, V1 as V, and V2, let us say V plus 5, because the speed of one train is greater than the other train by 5 kilometers per hour. Then if A has traveled a distance of x1, this is x1, so that will be equal to V into 2 hours after the start, 2 hours from the start, so x1 is V into 2. Similarly x2, so velocity of other train is V plus 5, so it will travel a distance of, let us say, x2, then x2 will be equal to V plus 5 multiplied by 2. Now the total distance between point A and B is 340, so total distance is 340, and that must be equal to x1 plus 30 plus x2, x1 plus 30 plus x2. So x1 is how much? x1 is 2v plus x2 is 2 into v plus 5 plus this distance 30 kilometers. So this should be the case. Fine, yes. So now just find out. So again, there is a linear equation and one variable. So we have 2v, here 2v. So 2v plus 2v, 4v plus, this is 2 into 5, 10, 10 plus 30, 40 is equal to 340. So then 4v is 300 and velocity is 300 divided by 4, that is 150, 75. So velocity of one train is 75 kilometer per hour. Then velocity of another train, so v is the velocity of this train. The second train we have considered v plus 5. So then velocity of other train, that is v1 is 75 and v2 will be 80 kilometer per hour, kilometer per hour. Okay? Yes. Okay, 14 kilometers distance traveled by him on foot. So the next question is, a person is there, so that person is traveling certain distance by foot, by walking, and some remaining distance or a distance is traveled by a person in two parts, one is by foot and other by a scooter. So let us see that problem and try to solve it. Formulating an equation is one of the important aspects. So a man covers a distance of 14 kilometers in an hour. The problem is, man covers a distance 14 kilometers in an hour. Partly on foot at a rate of 4 kilometers per hour, partly on foot, rate of 4 kilometer per hour, and partly on scooter, and on scooter, rate of 44 kilometer per hour. So find the distance traveled by foot, on foot. Okay, a man covers a distance of 14 kilometers in an hour. So a total journey of 14 kilometers is covered in 1 hour, in an hour. Some part on foot at a rate of 4 kilometers per hour and the remaining part on a scooter at a rate of 44 kilometers per hour. Find the distance traveled on foot. So here you have to find out for how much time he has traveled on by foot and on scooter. Okay, yes. So total time we have. So time on foot. Let us say T1. So this T1 we are assuming, and time by scooter. So time by scooter, if this is T1 or T, let us say T, time on foot, or the distance travelled on foot for a time of T, then time travelled by scooter will be 1 minus T. Okay. So total journey is of 1 hour. So the time for which he has travelled on a foot is T hours. Then time on scooter will be 1 hour minus T hours. So now we know total distance. So total distance is 14. So that should be equal to the distance covered on foot and distance covered on scooter, or distance covered by foot and distance covered by scooter. So that will be equal to, the speed is 4 by foot multiplied by time. So he has travelled for a time T, plus 44 into 1 minus T. Speed into time, speed into time. Partly by foot, partly by scooter. So just solve this. So again this is a linear equation, one variable. So T is the variable. So then 14 is equal to 4T plus 44 minus 44T. Fine. So 14 is equal to 44 minus 40T. Then we have 40T equals to 44 minus 14. 40T is 44 minus 14. So T will be equal to, so this is 30 by 40. So 3 by 4 hours. 3 by 4 hours. Okay. Yes. So or you can say 45 minutes. 60 minutes in an hour. So 15 will be one part. So 3 parts. So 45 minutes. Okay. So 3 by 4 hours. Now what you have to find out? Find the distance travelled on foot. So how much distance he has travelled on foot? So distance travelled on foot will be equal to speed. So speed by foot is 4. And the time for which has travelled 4. So that is 3 kilometers. So out of this 14 kilometers, he has travelled a distance 3 kilometers by foot and 11 kilometers by scooter. Okay? Yes. Now next problem. Okay. So there are two ports, sea port or whatever. So there are two ports, a steamer a streamer moves from port A to port B. Okay, a streamer moves from port A to port B and port B to port A. So I'll show it in diagrammatic way. So this is port A, this is port B. So a streamer, this is downstream. So downstream it will take 9 hours. A streamer goes downstream from one port to another port in 9 hours. It covers the same distance upstream in 10 hours. So downstream. Upstream it is covering the same distance in 10 hours. Covering same distance in 10 hours. Okay. So now the speed of stream, speed. One kilometer per hour. So find the speed of streamer. Find the speed of streamer in still water. Okay, so again a simple problem. A streamer is moving from port A to port B, and also find the distance between the two ports. Find the distance between the ports. Okay, so again a simple problem. So solve it. Just convert it into equations. So again we'll assume speed of streamer is equal to V kilometers per hour, or you can take x kilometers per hour, V kilometers per hour. Fine. So distance traveled, distance downstream will be equal to the speed along downstream. Speed along downstream will be speed of the streamer plus speed of the stream. So speed of the stream is 1, speed of the streamer is V. So total speed in downstream will be V plus 1 multiplied by the time. So it is taking 9 hours. So the time is 9 hours. So 9. Then distance traveled along upstream will be equal to speed in the upstream direction. The speed will be speed of streamer minus speed of stream. So that is V minus 1. And how much time it is taking? 10 hours. So this is the distance travelled upstream, this is the distance travelled downstream, and both the distances are equal. So 9V plus 1 should be equal to 10V minus 1. So here we have 9V plus 9 and here 10V minus 10. So 10. So that is V. So this will be 90. So speed of the streamer in still water is 19 kilometers per hour. 19 kilometers per hour. Now find the distance between the points. Find the distance between the ports. So what is the distance between the ports? So take any one of the equation. Whether you can take this equation or this equation. So if you take this equation, 19 plus 1. So 19 plus 1 is 20. So downstream the speed will be 20. Take How much time it is taking? 9 hours. So 180 kilometers. So the distance between the ports is 180 kilometers. Okay? Yes. So these are the few examples. Linear equations in one variable. So same problem, if one information is given less, then this equation will become equation in two variables. Now let us take an example of linear equation in two variables. So linear equations in two variables. Okay, so you have many equations in two variables in physics. So if I say speed of a particle is equal to 2 plus phi t. So this is a linear equation. The speed of a particle is 2 plus phi t. And here two variables, velocity and time is a variable. Similarly, work done by a constant force is equal to, let us say, 6x. This is the work done by a constant force. So that is work done is 6 into x. So work done and x both are variables. So similarly, we have different relations. So now one famous equation which you know is temperature in Fahrenheit is equal to 9 by 5 into temperature in Celsius scale plus 32. So this is the equation, because in some places or in some countries people measure the temperature in Fahrenheit scale, and in some countries they will measure this temperature in Celsius scale. Okay, so here if you have the value of if you have the temperature on Celsius scale, you can find out the temperature on Fahrenheit scale, or if you have a temperature on Fahrenheit scale, you can find out it on Celsius scale. So now let us take one problem based on this, or simply you can write this equation as, for your understanding right now. So we can write 9 by C plus 32, where F represents the temperature on Fahrenheit scale and C represents the temperature on Celsius scale. Okay, so now find the temperature on Fahrenheit, or find the temperature in Fahrenheits if temperature on Celsius scale is 30 degrees Celsius. If the temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, so what will be the temperature on Fahrenheit scale? So just if you put this value here, you will get the temperature on Fahrenheit scale. So here linear equation, degree is 1, and if you plot a graph between Fahrenheit and Celsius, then it will be a straight line graph. So then here F is unknown, C is unknown, or if you say F is a variable, C is a variable. So here we have two variables. So how much will be on Fahrenheit scale? 9 by 5, how much will be this temperature? So 30 plus 32. So temperature on Fahrenheit scale, 5 6 9 6 54, 54 plus 32. So that will be 86 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, or just I'll write 86 degree on this particular scale. So you can convert this. You will have many such relations. Just I am taking an example to give you a feel about how different types of equations we use. Then now my question is, does the temperature or the numerical value of temperature on Fahrenheit scale and Celsius scale is same? Because this is a relation. If you have 0 degree Celsius, then in Fahrenheit how much? So 0 degree Celsius on Fahrenheit is 32 degree. If C is 0, if this is 0, if C is 0, then on Fahrenheit scale it is 32 degree Fahrenheit, right? So that is nothing but the lowest point which they have considered on these two different scales. We'll study later, or we'll design this scale. We'll find out the relation between Fahrenheit scale and Celsius scale, and we'll get this equation. So that is heat and thermodynamics, the temperature measurement. So that is 32 degrees. So 0 degree Celsius on Celsius scale or 0 degrees on Celsius scale is equal to 32 degrees on Fahrenheit scale. So numerically. So now, can be a temperature where it has same numerical value on Fahrenheit and Celsius. So let us find out. So let us find, is there, or find the temperature on Celsius and Fahrenheit scale which has same numerical value. So let us say that numerical value is x. So on Fahrenheit scale it is x degree, on Celsius scale it is x degree. The number is same on both the scales. Then if I write x is equal to 9 by 5x plus 32. So then on Fahrenheit as well as on Celsius that temperature will be same. So how much we'll get? So x minus 9 by 5 x is equal to 32. So 5 minus 9 is minus 4 by 5 x is equal to 32. So this comes out to be x is equal to minus 32 into 5 by 4. So x is equal to how much? So 4 8s are 8 5s are 40. So minus 40 degree. So minus 40 degree on Fahrenheit scale as well as minus 40 degree on Celsius scale. So on both these scales, this particular temperature will have the same numerical value. Okay, yes. So now next. So let us have another problem. Yes. Okay. So now we have two places on a highway. So let us say this is a highway. We have two places on this highway. So place A, place B. The distance between this place is 70 kilometers. Yeah, 70 kilometers apart. Now car A starts from A and another car starts from B at same time, same direction, 7 hours. Okay. So now there are two cars. One car will start from A, another car will start from B. Okay. So if both these cars start simultaneously from A and B and travel in the same direction, if they travel in the same direction, so let us say this speed is V1, this speed is V2. Both the cars start simultaneously from point A and point B, which are 70 kilometers apart, and they move in the same direction, then they will meet seven hours after the start. So this is the first condition. And now second condition is, if they move in opposite direction, they will meet 7 hours after the start if they travel in same direction. And if they travel opposite direction, they will meet in 1 hour. So if they travel in opposite direction, they will meet in 1 hour. Okay, so find the speed of these cars. So we are assuming these cars to be moving with constant speed. So all the problems which we are considering, the speed of the boat or whatever, so they are constant. So just we are trying to understand how to formulate a problem. Okay, how to formulate an equation for a given physical situation. Fine. So there are 2 points on a highway 70 kilometers apart, and there are two cars which will start. One car will start from A, another car will start from B with some speed, and if they start simultaneously at same time and if they travel in same direction, they will meet after 7 hours. And if these cars moves in opposite direction, if they travel in opposite direction, they will meet after 1 hour. So find the speeds. So now to find the speeds, now here again we have two variables, that is V1 and V2, or two unknowns are there, V1 and V2. So we have to get two equations, as many number of unknowns, so many number of equations. Fine. So let us formulate. So let us assume that, so this is point B, let us assume that from point B they will meet at point C. From point B they are meeting at point C, and let us say this distance is x kilometer. Fine. From A this distance will be 70 plus x. From point B this is x. So now distance traveled by B, or the car starting at point B, will be x if they move along same direction. So let us write it here, same direction. Then x will be equal to velocity v2 into time. So how much time they are taking? They are taking 7 hours. So this is one equation. Then similarly, now car A will meet car B, or this car and this car will meet at point C. Then in 7 hours this car will travel a distance of 70 plus x. So 70 plus x will be traveling with velocity v1 for how many hours? 7 hours. Both have started at same time, so they are traveling different distance with different speeds, but time is same. Then similarly, if they travel in opposite direction, so when they are traveling in opposite direction, I will write the equation. Now this equation will convert. So if you convert this equation, you will get 70 plus x is nothing but 7v2, and here we have 7v1. So equation 1 is 7 will cancel, so we will have v1 minus v2 is 10. So this is equation 1. Okay, so we need pair of equations. We need one more equation. Now when they are traveling in opposite direction, so let us say they will meet at a distance of x from B. So this distance x kilometer from B. Then A will travel a distance of 70 minus x. B is traveling a distance of x. They will meet at this point, let us say D. Then A will travel a distance of, or remaining distance, 70 minus x. So again, distance traveled by this car 2 is V2 into 1. They are taking 1 hour. When they are traveling in opposite direction, they are taking 1 hour. So definitely the 70 kilometer part of the distance will be traveled by one car and part of the distance will be traveled by another car. So then this car is traveling a distance of 70 minus x, which is V1 into 1. Again 1 hour. So put x here. So 70 minus V2 is equal to V1. So this equation will be V1 plus V2 is 70. So this is second equation. Solve these simultaneous equations. So which you know how to solve. V1 minus V2 is 10. V1 plus V2 is 70. So 2V1 is 80. So V1 is 40 kilometer per hour. Then V2. So V2 is 30 kilometer per hour. Okay. Yes. Then we'll take few more problems. Okay, so we'll take one more. So a problem on a boat, river boat, upstream, downstream. A boat goes 8 km downstream in 40 minutes and returns in 1 hour. Find the speed in still water, speed of water current. Okay, so 8 kilometers, 40 minutes and 1 hour. So let us say this is a river and boat from A to B. So this distance is 8 kilometers. 8 kilometers. Now downstream. So let us say this is downstream. Downstream. How much time it is taking? 40 minutes. And upstream. So let us call this as upstream. It is taking 1 hour. A boat goes 8 kilometers downstream in 40 minutes, returns in 1 hour. Find the speed in still water and speed of the water current. Okay, so find the speed. Find the speed of boat in still water, or this is also called as speed of the boat with respect to water. Speed of the boat in still water and speed of water current. Okay, yes, speed of water current. Fine. So earlier also we have solved. So some more information was given there. So we had that problem in one variable. Now this will be in two variables. So let us formulate, because both the speeds are not known. Earlier the water speed was given. So speed of boat in still water is, let us say, V1. Then speed of water current is equal to V2. So that is in kilometers per hour. This is also kilometers per hour. Now going upstream, time taken is 1 hour. Downstream it is 40 minutes. So let us convert this 40 minutes in hours. So 40 minutes is converted to hours, so that will be 40 by 60 hours. So 2 by 3 hours. 2 by 3 hours. Distance traveled from A to B is same as distance traveled from B to A. Different speed, different time. So time is different, speed is different. So let us write the equation here. Now downstream. So when it is going downstream, speed of boat as well as speed of stream. So speed of boat V1 plus V2, or directly I write V1 plus V2 multiplied by time taken is 2 by 3. Time taken is 2 by 3. That should be equal to upstream. So V1 minus V2 is 1. Fine. So this will give you the relation between V1 and V2, or you can write in terms of distance. So there is no problem. So we will get two equations. So how much distance? Distance is 8 kilometers. So this should be 8. So this will be our equation 1. Okay. So anyways you can do. There is no problem. Fine. So then we will get 2V1, or 2 will cancel. So V1 plus V2 is 4 3s are 12. So this is equation 1. Then second equation will write upstream. When it is going upstream, the speed will be V1 minus V2. Boat speed with respect to water minus the current speed, the water speed. Fine. So let us write here second equation, or let us write here. Okay. So write it here. That is V1 minus V2. Time taken is 1, that is 8. So this is equation 2. Fine. So let us solve this equation. So V1 minus V2 is 8 and V1 plus V2 is 12. So if we solve, what we will get? We will get 2V1 is equal to 20. So V1 is 10 kilometer per hour. V1 is 10 kilometer per hour. V2. So 10, so V2 will be 2. V2 is 2 kilometer